Okay, so this is a video that I've talked about this at length in other videos of this channel. I think I talked about this a lot in Let's Green Toontown Rewritten. But I thought I should just make a video about it, since a lot of people still seem to ask these days. I'm on the Horse Von Hay, the very fancy tune. What are the best gags for greening? Okay, so for the first part of this video, I am just going to go down basically like the gag tracks as a whole. Then we'll get into more specifics later on in the video. So, for the best gags for greening, the first track that you get is either sound or tune-up. I've talked about this at length. Honestly, I think that regardless of how you play Toontown, like, sound is literally just go with sound. It's the only gag track in the game that really matters for anything these days. I think you can make an argument that if you're like solo greening or not solo greening, like duo greening or something, tune-up could be helpful. I'm a big advocate of just going sound first, especially because you're going to hit Daisy Gardens and the factory before you're going to get another chance to get it. It's easy to train, just get it. Of course, when it comes to greening, sound is, like, needed. If you've seen Soundless in Toontown, it is very hard to even wake up the cogs if you don't have sound. It's pretty much required in any conceivable, greening run, and just to play the game, like, normally. So yeah, definitely get sound. This one I think is up for discussion. I think there's an argument you can make for why tune-up is better to go with first. But yeah, in my opinion, I would go sound. If I was doing a duo greening run, well, actually, but still, I don't know. I really like sound. Okay, when it comes to the second gag track, Lure and Drop, Drop is worthless. Drop is completely worthless for greening. Oh, Horse Von Hay is falling asleep. Drop is completely worthless for greening. I would not get Drop. And if you do get it, I definitely would not get it in Donald's dock. The thing with Lure is, even if it's not that great, okay, when I'm gonna go and like green a VP, if it's not that great for that, that's fine. But Lure is completely broken, a lot like sound. It's just good to have when it comes to playing the game. Also, when people try to green you in retaliation, there's pretty much nothing you can do if you do not have Lure. There's always the strategies of doing like small magnet when they use like hypno goggles. Big magnet when they use hypno goggles, it can be pretty good too. But yeah, Lure. The only thing that's good with Drop, and I have not confirmed this, I should probably confirm it. I don't think I have any SOS cards on this tune to confirm it. Yeah, I don't. Is in original Toontown, you needed Drop, the gag track Drop, for your SOS card drop to hit. Without like a stun, without sound. So that was one like incentive. I think that's the same in Toontown Rewritten, but I just don't think it's worth that one thing. Even if that is the case, I really just don't think it's worth that one thing to do for Drop. Anyways, next pick would be, if we went sound and then Lure, would be that would be tune-up and trap. So at this point, yeah, I would get tune-up again, or I would get tune-up or sound, whatever one you didn't get. The thing with trap, and one reason I really like trap, and I'm a big advocate for trap over drop, is because it is just so trolly. Throwing out banana peels when you, if you don't get trap, you literally can't ruin people's trains, which is insanely depressing when you see someone use a train. But if you're trapless, I feel like this has happened in a few videos, but you're trapless, you can't do anything about it. And the SOS cards, the SOS trap cards, do not work. I believe the train just overrides them. I forget exactly what the game does. They don't work. So, yeah. That's what you gotta do there. Um, so yeah, I think a few things, just few like misconceptions that I want to go over real fast. Tune up, tune-upless tunes, honestly, aren't the best when it comes to greening, and the reason for this is you can't fake people out when you have a tune-upless tune. Um, you can't do like the pixie dust or juggling cubes or high dive to fake them out and then go into a sound. You can't do that at all. So really, honestly, I feel like the best type of tune, if you like just want to have a troll tune, but you don't want to make it like, you don't want to be like me and make it pretty like egregious that you're greening. Going tune-upless is a really good option just because you never have tune-up, so you never have to worry about anyone really accusing you of being a greener. So there's that. When it comes to sound, like I said, there's a lot of things you can do with it. You don't have to do, you don't always have to go with the bike horns, even though, you know, bike horns are amazing. You can always do like, okay, like elephant trunk. Oh my gosh, I accidentally used elephant trunk. Let me think. Throw and squirt are definitely self-explanatory. They're both pretty bland when it comes to greening, but obviously you kind of got to take them anyway. But yeah, I think that is about it. But wait! Coach Zucchini Evil Twin, don't you want to go into more specifics about the gags? Whoa, wait, did you make me a tier list? Yes, I made you this fancy tier list that you can go into more specifics with. Wow, this is a pretty good tier list. Horse Von Hey, did you make this yourself? Yes, I did. Now, I hope you will let me crash some more videos in the future. Well, yeah, maybe. Well, let's see here. Rate which gags are better for greening than others. Anything greening related, including how effective it is. To pull back is fine, but ditching should not be considered for this list. List created by Horse Von Hey. Please share your fancy lists with me. Okay, well, this looks pretty good. Alright, so let's see here. Wait, there's some weird tabs. Do not look at my tabs! Okay, well, sorry, Horse Von Hey, I won't. Okay, anyway, let's see here. Alrighty, so, okay. So I guess we'll get into some specifics of, like, what the best gags for greening are. The best individual gag tracks. So I feel like some of these, alright, let's see here. I think drop is pretty bad. I think drop is, like, the worst, because I don't know what you're supposed to do with a big weight. Big weights are terrible. Absolutely terrible. Drop in general is pretty bad in general, because like what are you gonna do with it? I guess to be fair, drop can be kind of funny when you just like use it. I guess like when the cogs are lured, just being an idiot, but people usually don't react to that. So you know. Let's see here. What else? I guess I'll just kind of go in a random order for these. I won't go in any specific order. I think, like, throw it's definitely not as bad as drop when it comes to trolling, but there's just nothing you can really do with it. Like, wedding cake's a good example of this, right? Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're in a VP. You're in, like, you got like a group of 12s, right? And you're like, all right, guys, I'm gonna wedding cake. And then you, like, what? You're gonna pull back the wedding cake after they lure the cogs? Honestly, wedding cake might be, like, in the worst. Because that almost just makes the situation worse for yourself. Like, oh, okay. Now the cogs are lured. So let's see here. Let's do something that's actually better. Big magnet, I think, is pretty good. It's definitely not the best. Definitely not the worst, though. Well, it's far better than the worst. Let's see here. What do I should put big magnet? Oh, man. I guess say it's like A. We'll see. Maybe I might have to rearrange some of these at the end, but that's like my gut reaction. I think small magnet. Ooh, small magnet might be S. Small magnet's really good. Ooh, it's actually an interesting discussion. I want you guys to make your own lists in the and post your own lists to what you guys think. See how closely related they are. So, okay. The other drops. I feel like all the drops that are like decent are just like terrible because there's nothing you can do with them. Like, because at least like flower pot I'll move up to like F, right? Because flower pot's pretty funny to use every now and then, and I guess like sandbag too. But like big weight safe piano anvil, like when have you ever watched someone green with like an anvil? Like it's just not a thing. That's not a thing that happens. So yeah, those are terrible. Let's see here. $1 bill. You could probably find some uses for that. It's definitely not the best. Maybe like a C, like B maybe. Railroad, god awful. The absolute worst. The absolute worst of the worst of the worst. I think Railroad is literally the worst gag in the game for greening. Like, okay, you're going to use something that when this thing's organic, it can kill level 12 cogs. No way, no how. I don't know if anyone can give a case for Railroad for why it's not the absolute worst thing to green with in the game, let me know. So, okay, let's see here. Birthday cake, pretty bad. I will give birthday cake a bit of the benefit of the doubt. Same thing with cream pie, because you can pull this thing back. Like, I could see some situations where, like, okay, we're fighting like a level 12 cog, and I use birthday cake or cream pie, and then I pull back at the last second. I guess to be fair, I could also do that with fruit pie in some situations, but you can't really do that with, this either. Let's see here. Geyser. That's pretty bad. I'll hit up Geyser a bit higher than Wedding Cake, because with Geyser, there's probably a goofy situation where the cogs won't, like, get defeated, where Wedding Cake, that, like, always, the cogs are pretty much, like, always defeated. Let's see here. So, Opera is actually a weird one. I'm actually going to put Opera kind of high here. Because it does so much damage, because it's so situational, I think I'm going to put this at A. And this might be like a weird, people might not understand this. I once had a friend, I think I talk about this every now and then. I once had a friend who greened people with an Opera, because he used it to wake up the lured cogs. It is actually a very good way to get around going sad. Or not going sad, to get around a ban, because no one suspects you, like, oh, you're going to use an Opera to wake up the cogs. I might actually put this at S, because you can also use Opera. It's one of the best things you can use, and then pull back at the last second while they use sound. It's definitely not like the best of the best, but it's quite good. And honestly, a lot of the other sounds are just really good, because maybe we'll hit these up later, but these are really good because you have to use sound. Everyone uses sound. So if you use Elephant Trunk or you use Foghorn, and you can back off at the last second, these are extremely important to green with. Trap's kind of an interesting case, right? Railroad is terrible. I think literally the worst gag in the game for greening. But every trap gag, I think, has a kind of a floor to it, because every trap gag can be used to cancel out another trap gag, which, like, infinitely makes it better for greening. And you can make the argument for, like, Flower Pot and Sandbag that these are good because, double dropping. Um, but I feel like that's just, it doesn't, well, maybe I'll hit these up a few, actually, now that I think about it, because with Flower Pot and Sandbag, you can use these to make your opponent's drop miss. But then with, like, Trap, all of these are good for canceling out someone else's trap. Now, maybe some of you are going to make the argument Train, like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to use the Train to cancel out someone's banana peel. Like, okay, I guess that's still trolling, but I feel like the person you're trolling is going to feel like they won that interaction because they're like, oh, well, I just got rid of his Train. So, yeah, I don't know. So I feel like just as like a floor, pretty much every trap gag is at least pretty decent because all of these you can use to cancel out other people's traps. I think TNT is probably better because it looks a lot less trolly when you throw out a TNT on someone's like trap door. The banana peel I think is good, but it's hard because with the banana peel, it's so upfront. It's so upfront that you're trolling when you use a banana peel. So it's good, but I don't. I guess we'll hit it up, just because it does no damage and it wakes up the lured cogs or one lured cog. Let's see here. Tune up. Okay, I feel like these are some of the best. Honestly, I feel like honestly, oh man, I'm actually kind of torn between these. Definitely, these are at S. These are so good because Pixie Dust has to be top tier because Pixie Dust, if you're duo greening with someone, this is the only thing you can use to heal. I guess you can use, Lipstick should probably be high too now that I think about it. I don't think Lipstick's the absolute best though. But Lipstick is so good because these are the only two tune-up gags that you can use to heal your, like, teammate. Like, you can't use Kane. Kane is, like, okay. Kane is probably, like, C because you can use Kane to pull back, but I don't know who's going to believe you. But what should High Dive be higher? I actually don't think so. I think actually High Dive should probably be because the thing with High Dive is it's really good to fake people out, but if you mess up High Dive, like, you've literally healed your entire team. So it's good, it's really good, but yeah, you could really fumble that. Okay, let's see here. Feather? Oh my god. Yeah, Feather's awful. Megaphone's awful. I don't know what use you're going to have for either of those gags. I mean, I guess they're kind of funny to just use, but that's, again, a lot like the drop gags, right? Like, using an anvil is kind of funny to use, but you're not going to do anything with it. I guess I would probably put Stormcloud in the same vein of, like, Birthday Cake. Like, I guess you could pull back at the last second. Hose should probably be on there, too. I don't know what you're going to do with any of these gags, though. Like seltzer bottle, glass of water, and squirt gun. No clue what you're going to do with those. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, a lot of these I'm having a hard time with. Okay. I feel like Hypno has to be an S because it has such a dual purpose. With Hypno, it's one of the best gags to pull back at the last second. Okay, I'm gonna have to toy with this for a bit because now I'm starting to see some things I want to rearrange. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah, because this has to be the best. This has to be the best too. But now I'm starting to wonder if Drunken Fog should be a. We'll see. Okay. When it comes to these, actually, $10 bill is garbage. I don't know what the heck you're gonna do with that. I mean, I guess you could double. I think my thought process is like, okay, the worst is like, there's literally like no use for these. I guess to be fair, I'll hit up Anvil just a bit because you could theoretically like double drop with that still. Um, F is like there's very very minimal uses, but like what are you gonna do with it? D is like a little more, still pretty bad. C is when we start getting into like the things that are practical. B, you're starting to get pretty good. A, really good. S, really, really good. And then like the best. Okay, $5 bill. Probably a little worse than $1 bill. It's kind of weird though, because a few of these gags, it's almost like, why would you ever use the $5 bill when you could just use the $1 bill? But I mean, I guess the functionality is there. Okay, Toontanic. I think Toontanic is actually really good because you can literally, it's basically the equivalent of like, actually, now that I think about it, I think Toontanic is probably the best drop gag. It's actually something I haven't really thought about. Because we always get into the infamous, like, oh, okay, use lure. Or no, not use lure, my bad. Use sound, I'll SOS drop. Like, that's such an infamous thing. But the thing with Toontanic is, it literally shows that you're using a Toontanic. So if you use a Toontanic, you can literally, like, show it, like, oh, I'm going to use the Toontanic. And you can get the people the sound. So Toontanic, I definitely don't think it's worth. I think Trap is so much better overall, as a gag, because like, look at this, like all the Trap gags are like pretty middle of the road, but like there's nothing you can do with Drop. So, oh man, I don't know. I think Toontanic's really good. I think there's the thing that's a lot like High Dive with it though, where if you mess up. Oh man, if you mess up, that's not going to go over well. But I feel like there's a lot of use you can get with it. Presentation. Yeah. Yeah. That has to be in the best. Without a doubt. It's one of the best gags in the game to pull back at the last second. And if someone is greening you, if you are getting greened right away, I mean, this lasts, 15 turns? Yeah. Really, really good. Let's see here. This is probably like B. I mean, honestly, it's stupid. It's not that... It definitely doesn't, do that much. But, it's funny. You can use it to wake up cogs. It's definitely better than I think there's almost kind of like a secondary like hidden category for a lot of these where it's like the amount of like where there's something where it's like some of these just make tunes really angry, and I think there's kind of a part of some of these like with the cupcake, like just the fact that it makes people so angry, I think kind of hits it up a few more tiers than like, I don't know, this or this. Because I'm trying to think, like, in terms of functionality, I guess, like, these are probably maybe a little bit higher, because you could still use these to wake up the cogs. Yeah, maybe I'll hit these up a bit, because you can use these to wake up the cogs. Yeah, much like you can with, like, something like this. But then again, now that I think about it, these you can use on every trap gag. So does that floor, should these be bumped up a bit? Oh, we'll see. Okay, these sound gags. Awooga, probably a bit worse than Trunk and Fog, because obviously I think people are going to be a bit more suspicious if you use an Awooga. You want to give people confidence. You want to give people confidence that you're actually going to go through with your gag choice. And usually when you use something like opera or a foghorn, that gives people a lot more confidence than using, like an Awooga. See, now here's what I'm getting. Here's my issue here. I think these gags are so good just because they wake up all the cogs and they don't do any damage. The thing is, though, I don't know why you would use these instead of just doing the legendary one of the Bicorn. The Bicorn is like the absolute legend. It does no damage. It wakes up every cog. I think you can argue that, okay, maybe it's a bit less suspicious to do like a whistle or a bugle, but I mean, come on, who's using a whistle on lured cogs without trolling? Like, I think all these are so, like, you make it known. Okay, now let's rearrange these. Okay. Actually, I'm wondering if TNT. I feel like I should hit TNT down one, and then hit these up one, because TNT. Oh, I did put. Okay, yeah, right. The reason I put TNT was because, yeah, I'll hit TNT up one actually again, because it really you could probably get away with making it look like you're not trolling with TNT, where you can't really do that with something like Banana Peel. But Banana Peel has like other uses. It can wake up the cogs right away. Yeah, Trap's really weird because they're all really quite good, but then there's also, I mean, I guess I could argue that like literally every trap gag can literally destroy a train right away. So that's really good. But I guess that's kind of the floor we've been talking about. I feel like okay. I feel like Cake. I feel like these probably have more pullback potential than I'm giving them credit for right now. I really don't think Stormcloud has that much. I mean, it has a little. Let's see here. What do I want to change anything? I'm tempted. Oh. I think juggling should probably be the best. I'm debating whether or not small magnet should also be in the best. I think it probably should. Okay. Well, how do I feel about this right now? Yeah. I don't know if there's anything I'm really missing. So yeah, I'm kind of putting all these together in one thing, because there definitely is. You could definitely make the argument that something like Lipstick isn't that good if you're doing like, because I'm kind of combining solo greening and duo greening into one. Lipstick definitely isn't going to be that good if you are solo greening, but it's so good when you duo green, because you only have like 7 of these, and if the team completely like grinds things to a halt, you're going to have to use Lipsticks to get ahead. So, and to not go sad. Maybe I should bump it down one, because you could just use Restock Tune Up. Okay, maybe that's probably good. I don't know how much of a you. Maybe I'll do another tier list of like just like the funniest overall gags to use. Because okay, let's just go down here. Let's just quick recap, right? Pixie Dust is amazing because you can pull back at the last second. You can heal any duo greening partners. Small Magnets, amazing because it messes up lure. Hypno Goggles, amazing because you can pull it back. Presentation's amazing because you can pull it back. Same thing. And it's 15 turns. This tune-up, you can fake people out with it. Obviously, Bicorn is amazing because it does absolutely no damage. These sound gags, I mean, we went over those ad nauseum. Toontanic, pretty self-explanatory. Like I said, High Dive, like the tune-up gags. Oh, I almost wonder if all the... maybe I should hit up the sound, actually, one. Because these sound gags are so good. I feel like a lot of greening happens because I can trick people into using sound. I still feel like they should probably just be A. Because they're not as legendary. Usually when you use something like Trunk and Fog, like, you don't completely get people, like usually people can get out of those situations. It's very hard for people to get out of those situations, like when you use, like, juggling balls and then, bike horn. And it's actually kind of funny because a lot of these have combos. Like, you could very easily do, like you're using this, and then you go into bike horn at the last second when you pull back and then, wake up the lure. Alright, I think this is probably good. This is my just kind of gut reaction to this. Maybe I'm missing something. I want to know what you guys think about this. But I think I feel pretty good about that. Maybe we'll do, if you guys like this, we'll do more tier lists in the future. We made this tier list, specifically for this video. We'll list this in the description. And show me your tier list and tell me why. I'm actually really interested in what you guys think. This is a really goofy discussion, but I really like it. I really like this discussion just because it's so goofy. But anyway, stay over watching, and I will see you all later. Wait! Horse Von Hay! Yes? Fancy evil twin? I'm pretty sure you missed Squirting Flower! Oh no. How could this have happened to me? Okay, wait, where would I have put let's see, where would I put Squirting Flower? Let's see here. I think I would have put Squirting Flower, probably one below Cupcake. I probably would have put Squirting Flower in C. Yeah, Horse Von Hay, when we release this to the public, we got to put the Squirting Flower on. Oh, okay. Stop acting like such a peasant. You were the one who messed it up, Horse Von Hay. Oh, fine. Wow, Horse Von Hay's been kind of rude. Yeah, I think I would have put it at C because it's not as funny as Cupcake. But anyways, I think that's it. See y'all later.